Hello everyone, class 12th, chapter probability, lecture number 7. In this lecture, we will discuss questions of exercise 13.4, the leftover questions of the exercise. So let us start with question number 10. In question number 10, as you see, they're asking find the mean number of heads in 3 tosses of a coin, right? So, so mean number of heads in 3 tosses of a coin. So let us first write all the outcomes when we toss a coin 3 times. They are head, head, head. I'll just name it by S, which is our sample space. Head, head, tail, head, tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, tail, head, tail, head, head, tail, head, tail, and tail, tail, tail. There are 8 outcomes. Number of heads, we have to find the mean of number of heads. That means the random variable x here is number of heads. Fine. Let us draw out our probability distribution table. Before that, let us write the values of x. Now in these outcomes, I see there are outcomes where there is no head, where there is one head, where there is two head, and the outcome where I have all 3 heads. Maximum is 3, minimum is 0. So we'll draw out our probability distribution table. Drawing out the probability distribution table. So we will just make rows and columns in it for x and p of x. Correct? So just drawing that out. Okay. Now let us write the things in it. Here x and here the corresponding probability of the random variable x. When random variable x is 0, that means there are no heads. The outcome which is favorable to us is 1 only, which is tail, tail, tail. So the probability is 1 by 8. When number of heads is 1, you see number of heads is 1 in one case, 2 case, and 3 case. So the probability will be 3 out of 8. The number of heads is 2. I see this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, right? So 3 out of 8. Number of heads is 3. As all the outcomes we have taken, the only leftover outcome is head, 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 which has 3 outcomes. So the probability is 1 by 8. Now to find the mean, we know the formula. Mean is represented as E of x, that means expectation of x. So we just have to do xi into p of xi, all these, and then we have to just I is from 0 to 3 here in this case, correct? Because 0, 1, 2, 3. So when x is 0, probability is 1 by 8. Then x is 1, probability is 3 by 8. Then x is 2, probability is again 3 by 8. Then next x is 3, probability is 1 by 8. Correct? When you solve it, you get 3 by 8 plus 6 by 8 plus 3 by 8. Correct? When you add them, you get 12 by 8, which is 4 by 2 or 3 by 2 if we cancel it with 4. So the answer is 1.5 for this. So this is the mean number of heads in 3 tosses of a fair coin. This is how you're going to form your table and find the mean. You just need to remember the formula, the events, the outcomes you already learned in the previous exercise. Let us now go to the next question. Here is the next question, where what they are saying, 2 dice are thrown simultaneously. We are throwing the dice simultaneously. If x denotes the number of sixes, when we throw 2 dice, we can get 0 number of 6, we can get 1 6 on one of them, and we can get 6 on both of them. We have to find the expectation of x. Now expectation mean or expected value means the same thing. So we actually have to calculate E of x. So first of all, I am writing or showing you a table in which, as you know, the value of x is what? 0, 1 and 2, because in throwing two dice it is a possibility that there is no 6. That means on both the die we are not getting 6. On any one die we can get 6, or on both the die we are getting 6. Correct? So just see this table here in which x is 1, x is equal to 2, correct, x is 0. So we have marked the outcomes favorable to x equals 0 where there is no 6, x equal 1 when there is 1 6, and x equals 2 where are 2 sixes. Correct. Now can we form the probability distribution table here? Yes, of course. Let us form that. So we'll again draw one table. Let us take out this. Correct. Now, drawing out the table, placing the values of x and p of x, we can just solve it easily. The same method as done in the previous question. Write down x, write down p of x. As you can see, total number of outcomes is 36. So, when x is 0, you see how many outcomes are not there. These 11, that means 25 of these are favorable to us. 25 upon 36. When there is 1 6, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 outcomes favorable to us out of 36. When x is 2, that means on both the dice we're getting 6. 6 on both of them, right? So there is only one outcome favorable to us out of 36. So this is our probability distribution table. Now everybody knows the formula for mean, which is expected value of mean equals xi p of xi, correct? All the cases we have to add. So I'm just using sigma I equal to 0 to 2. So when I is 0, that means x is 0. 0 into 25 by 36 plus 1 into 10 by 36 plus 2 into 1 by 36. You just have to solve it and write down the value for mean here. I hope this is clear now. Let us move to the next question. Here comes the next question. As you can see in this question, they are saying two numbers are selected at random without replacement from the first six positive number. The first six positive numbers, as you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now, out of these we are selecting two, but without replacement. So for the first number, so we have to select two numbers. For the first number, how many options do we have? 6 options. So we can select it in 6 possible ways. Now if you have selected already the one, you are just left with 5 numbers. So the again for the second one you have only 5 options. So total two numbers can be selected in 30 ways. And I hope this is quite clear. You have done this in 11th class, permutation and combination. In the starting you do finding the number of ways. This is very simple. Now, let us just go with the total outcomes that can be possible for this. Here are the 30 outcomes that I have written. How I have written? With 1, I can select 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Correct? Because with 1 I can't select 1. I have to do it without replacement. So if 1 is selected, we can't go with the 1 itself because 1 is already out from the list. So with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. With 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Similarly for 4, 5 and 6 we have selected other numbers than 4, 5th and 6th. Correct. So these are total 30 outcomes which are written here. Now, what we have to do is, now you can see in the question what they were asking. Let us go back to the question that x is denoting a larger of the two number. So, larger of the two number, I am making a table. The larger number can't be 1 ever, because 1 is not greater than any of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 can be greater when it is selected with 1. So when 2 is greater, so x value can be see 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. When x is 2, okay, the outcomes which are possible for this are, just a second, yeah, 2, 1, 1, 2. In these two outcomes, 2 is greater than 1 and x is denoting larger of the two numbers. So x value is 2 because larger number is 2 here. So number of outcome is 2. Total outcomes is 30. 2 upon 30. Similarly, in the second question you see when 3 is greater. So we have written the outcomes in which 3 is greater. 3 will be greater than 1 and 2. So just write the elements 3 with 1, 2. Correct. So total outcomes are 4, 4 by 30. Similarly for 4, 5 and 6 we have written where 4 is greater, 5 is greater, 6 is greater. Counted the number of elements, divided with total number of elements to find out the probability. Now we have to calculate the mean for it. How do we calculate the mean for it? You know the formula for E of x. Again, multiply x with P of x. 2 with 2 by 30, 3 with 4 by 30, 4 with 6 by 30 and so on up to 6. Just add them, you will get the value for mean. Same formula applied to all the questions for mean. I think this is clear now. We'll go to the next question. Here comes the next question. Here they are saying x here, that means the random variable denotes the sum of the numbers obtained when two fair dice are rolled. When you roll two dice, you are going to get two numbers. Correct? So x is denoting the sum of the numbers. Now sum can start from where? See, can sum be 1? 1 will be the sum when with 1 the another number is 0. But we don't have 0 on the dice. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right. So the sum will be 2. Sum can be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We know the maximum sum that we have is 6, 6. That is 12. Correct. So these are the values for sum. Clear? Now we will be drawing out a table for it. And the table I'm placing here. Correct. This is the table already drawn for you. When x is 2, sum will be 2 when we have this outcome 1 comma 1. So 1 is possible for us out of 36. 1 divided by 36. What will when will be the sum? 3. These are the possible outcomes. When the sum is 4, these are the possible outcomes. So for up to 12 we have written all the outcomes after 36 which are favorable to us, counted them and divided with the probability. So we have got this correct. Now let us just have a look on the question again. Just to see, here we have to find variance and standard deviation in this. Just let's move to this question again. Okay. Now you know mean how to calculate. You will multiply xi with p of xi and your I starts from 2 to 12. Correct? This will give you mean. Then how will you find variance? In variance, you need to go with e of x square minus the square of mean that you are calculating. Correct. So mean you will calculate definitely, as in the previous questions we have calculated how to calculate e of x square. Already been told in one of the example. Still I am explaining it. You just have to find the square of this random variable value. Like 2 square will be 4, 3 square will be 9, 4 square will be 16, up to 12 you have to do. That means 144 you have to do. Correct. We can write all. 9 square 81, 8 square 64, 7 49. So all the squares you have to write, and x square is going to be multiplied with probability. 4 with 1 by 36. Then place a plus sign. 9 2 by 36 plus 16 into 3 by 36 plus 25 into 4 by 36. You get this value. From the value you are going to subtract your mean. And what is your standard deviation that you get? You just have to take the square root of variance. You will get your standard deviation for the question. Clear? Let us go to the next question now. Here is your next question. In this question, a class has 15 students whose ages are recorded. Correct? The ages of all the 15 students is written. Somebody is 15, somebody is 17 years old, 15 years old, 14, 21, 17, like this, all 15 ages are written. One student is selected in such a manner that each has the same chance of being chosen, and the age X of the selected student is recorded. You are just selecting one student and the chances are equal. Anyone can be selected out of 15, and you are recording the age. What is the probability distribution of the random variable X? Here X is denoting what? The age of the student. Now we have to find mean, variance, standard deviation, same as the previous question. So it's really very easy. You see the minimum age start from 14, so you X is 14. So count the number of students whose age is 14. As you can see, there are two. Correct? So 2 upon 15 will be the probability, corresponding probability. So let us just write that in a table. Here is your table. Here 21 will also come, 21 years, correct? So the ages are 14, 17, 15, total we have written. Okay, let it be like this. So total ages of all the students is written. Now see, X is 14. You see 14 ages. How many are there? 2. One this one this one. So 2 by 15 is the probability. Same, count the number of students who have age as 15 years, students who have age as 16 years, divide by total number of outcomes, that is 15. Now this is your table. Now you can find the mean. How to find out the mean? As you know the formula. Again I am discussing it. What to do? Xi into P of Xi. You know your all Xi starting from 14 to 21. You just have to multiply 14 with 2 by 15 plus 15 into 1 by 15 plus 16 into 2 by 15, and you're going to get your mean. I starts from 14 to 21 here. Then variance, how are you going to calculate? E of X square minus the mean value whole square. Correct? You know how to calculate this. You just have to square out X. So I'm writing X square here for you just to see. 14 square, 196, 225, 256, 289, and up to so on 441. Just going to square your X, multiply it with the probability, add all the products, you will get E of X square. From that, whatever value of mean you are getting, square it up and then subtract it from this value. Then standard deviation, you just take the answer of a variance whose square root you're going to take of the variance. Correct? That's only the thing you need to do for doing the question. Let us go to the last discussion, the last concept or question of the chapter. Here is it. It says 70% of the members favor, 30% oppose. Okay, so probability of favoring is 70%, opposing is 30%, 30 by 100. A member is selected at random and we take x equal to 0. X 0 means opposed. He is opposed. Probability of opposing is 30 by 100, right? I am writing it. Then x equals 1 if he is in favor. Probability of favoring is 70 by 100. So the probability distribution is created. Now you just have to find mean and variance. So I hope it is all clear to everyone. So now the chapter is completed and you're going to complete in homework the other questions of the exercise which are left over, plus go through the examples well. So complete chapter number 13 in your notebooks. Correct? And collect your doubts. You can post your comments in the doubts in the comment section. Also I'll just conduct one doubt session for you all. So the chapter is going to be completed. The next chapter that we are going to start with is continuity and differentiability, NCERT first part. So that's all for today. Thank you.